Well, welcome into the Cake Eaters Avalanche podcast. So, fun fact, I'm coming at you late for a couple reasons. One, because I was recorded a whole podcast by myself, and there was no internet. So that took a little bit longer because it lagged out in the middle of it, and then also because for some reason, I don't know, my microphone I think I updated my computer and it just stopped registering my microphone. So I just didn't record any audio. But anyways, that's not a big deal. What is a big deal is the Avs kicked the shit out of the Jets. That was cool. That was fun. We can all agree on that. It was great. I'm by myself because Blake isn't feeling a little bit under the weather. That's okay though. He might be back tomorrow. Someone will be back tomorrow. Because it is Nazem Kadri's homecoming, and I do want to, get someone in, tell me how that goes and all that stuff. If I'm feeling a little laggy, it's just because I'm on Wi-Fi instead of Ethernet because my roommate is using the Ethernet. Which is a whole long story that we don't need to. This doesn't concern this hockey game. So let's talk about the hockey because for the most part, this game was really good from the Avs. They started off as hot as you could. 19 seconds in, Nathan MacKinnon scores. Beautiful passing, it just no look passes right on guys' tapes, and it ends on Nathan MacKinnon who just blows by. There's no competition. Just walks in, picks. Can you take a guess where he shot this puck? Oh, it was high glove. Is anyone surprised? No, because you shouldn't be, because there's no surprise about it whatsoever, and that's fine. That's Nathan MacKinnon. That's part of what that's just a testament to how good he is. He's so good that it doesn't matter if the goalie knows where he's going. It's just gonna go in. So yeah, he's just that good. It was fun, great way to start, and then the refs decide, no, we want to give we want to give the Jets a chance because not like they played bad, and deserved what they got. So we're gonna give them a bullshit penalty, and they make a nice play on it. For the most part, the Avs actually killed the penalty pretty well, and then they just make a nice play on it. So that's fantastic. That's super fun. That's super cool. That makes you feel great about the game because that goal is tough because it's really on no one. The only thing you want different is the penalty, which wasn't even a penalty. So it's just frustrating because the Avs did nothing to deserve that goal against. You're not expecting Georgiev to make that save. It's a shot from the point which you're going to let go. It's a tipped puck on a nice set play. The Jets do a good job taking advantage of it, but it shouldn't have happened in the first place because there was nothing no one deserved that. The Jets deserved the play that led up to the goal to go in. That's completely true. But they didn't deserve the power play, and without that power play, they probably don't get it. But whatever, it doesn't matter because that's the last time they score the entire game. A few seconds later, the Avs were like, "We're having none of this." What is that one from? It's from Community, where there's an episode where someone asks, and what will you be having today? And someone says, none of this. So yeah, the Avs had none of it. Mikko Rantanen especially, great play by Evan Rodriguez to, win a puck battle along the boards and get it to Mikko Rantanen. I'll get into Evan Rodriguez in a little bit. And basically, Mikko just walks down on the slowest rush ever and just snipes Connor Hellebuyck. Mikko Rantanen is an elite shooter, and I hope if he makes another All-Star game again, they put him in the accuracy shooting. Just saying. I just think that'd be cool. I think he's more than equipped for it, but whatever. I'm worried that he won't make another one, but we'll see. He's a good enough player that he absolutely could. That's not really what matters right now. So, whatever. We'll carry on. And real quick, my cake, I ate it, and I don't want to eat a second piece of cake because I mean, I don't want to eat a bunch of cake, especially at 10 o'clock at night. It was carrot cake because that's what the Jets deserved, because they played like they couldn't give a crap. Someone said, and I remember listening to it during the All-Star break, that the Jets, these homecomings after a long road trip can be questionable sometimes. And, like the team never often doesn't play very well. And that was definitely the case tonight. The Jets did not play well. They did not give their home crowd anything to cheer about tonight, except for some sarcastic cheers for Connor Hellebuyck, which were stupid because I don't feel like this game was his fault at all, but whatever. Anyways, great play by Mikko Rantanen. Slowest rush ever. It's a 2-on-1 that happens for about 30 seconds, and you see someone coming through your screen, and it's Bleau and Byram. You're like, what are the Jets doing? Anyways, Mikko Rantanen, good enough, picks a spot, whatever. Hard to blame Connor Hellebuyck for either of those goals. I mean, they beat him in the same spot, so maybe you want him to save one of those, but they're just both very, very good shots from incredibly talented hockey players. And I mean, they're unscreened. I don't know. Those ones are tough. I know some people, I don't know. Goaltending, I'm never going to say. There's very rarely am I going to say a goaltender truly has to have a puck, because there's so much that goes into it. I mean, there's a lot. There's some softies and stuff like. So obviously that's, I don't know, whatever. I'm babbling on something that doesn't matter. Third goal. This one is kind of fortunate for the Avs. I mean, a little bit, but they go to the right places. I never think that when a puck goes in off of you, especially when you're in front of the slot, I don't feel like you're there's luck involved. They're not gonna deny that, but I don't like. I'm not saying, the Avs got lucky on that one. I mean, they put themselves in the position for that, and that's just hockey. Great play. Mikko Rantanen throws a puck on net, and JT Compher gets a body on it. There was some talk about it being Josh Manson, which I would have thought would be hilarious. There was one shift, I think probably one of his last shifts of the game. I've officially coined the nickname Chaos Monster for Josh Manson, because Josh Manson is a chaos monster. The way he plays hockey is just, I love it. It's hilarious. And yeah, so my father was asking why I wasn't doing a podcast, and I will tell him when I finish this podcast. I'm not waiting. It is going to be shorter. It was shorter to begin with, so don't worry. I just don't think there's very much to talk about with this hockey game. But anyways, they got a little bit fortunate there. After I just got done talking about how, whatever, ignore me. Look, I basically already said this stuff already, so forgive me. And I know I'm just talking really fast. I'll slow it down a little bit here. So fourth goal. Oh, he's in the other room. Bo! Usually if I slap, that gets him to come. He doesn't like he used to. Bo! He's there. I had him on the last time. I don't know, man. I guess he's not here. Well, I'll just show you a picture of him. Anyways, Byram is fucking feeling it right now, and I love it. I love it so much. I feel personally responsible because I named my dog Bo By. Because last time, he was doing this, but he wasn't getting. He's not even like, it's not like these are bounces that were going in. It's just that are going his way. He's just being dope. And last time it felt like he was gripping the stick a little bit more. Now he's just feeling it. I think, it was with the head thing. Now he doesn't have to worry about his head. He's just playing Bo and Byram hockey. And it's just, you see this. It's this swagger that he plays with. And you saw it if you watched, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I wasn't going step by step Beau and Byram, watching every shift he took in the dub. But I will tell you this much. I've watched these little clips of like all the goals he scored, and I've watched this stuff. This is what he did in juniors. He's just a confident player. He's, and like this is the thing, is that, he didn't have this last year. After he came back, he didn't score another goal until that he hadn't scored a goal from, when was it? I don't know when his last goal was last year. I think it was against the Jets. The Jets, actually funny enough, I think it was against the Jets in Colorado in that 7-1 game. I think it was like that one-timer he had in like the last, like the dying minute of the game. Didn't really matter. And he hadn't scored a goal from then until the Calgary game. And then I think, but now he's feeling it. He's got 3 goals in his return already. It's been less than 10 games. I have no idea what his point total is at, but I would assume it's at, if not close to, a point per game since he's returned. Let's see here. 17. God, he's only played 17 games this year. That's kind of nuts. Okay, maybe it's not. I think it might be. Let's see here. So you had 1 point, 1 point, 2 points. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 points in 8 games. Okay, so close. It's close to a point per game since he's returned. And it's hard to say if he'll continue like this. If this was with Cale Makar in the lineup, I would feel a little bit more confident in saying it's sustainable for him. But he's getting more minutes. He was on power play 1, which I love. He hasn't gotten any points out of it, so that's not really the point of it. It's just he's getting more minutes, more opportunity, which he should be getting anyways. Sorry, have to correct, because as much as you guys might not like it, I don't like the blur. It's not anything, to do with like my own self-love or ego or anything. It's just a frustration thing, like a OCD a little bit. Not really OCD. I'm very conscious about self-diagnosing mental illnesses. Especially, I don't know if you guys remember that article Colin Wilson wrote about how bad his OCD was. I'm very, that's always been in the back of my mind since then, because I don't mention this on the podcast very much, but I love Colin Wilson. I'll always love Colin Wilson. He's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, hockey player ever. Love that guy. Love him as a person. Love him as a hockey player. Whatever. Colin Wilson's dope. Shout out Colin Wilson. No particular reason. I watched a highlight from an old Penguins game. Well, not that old. It was from 2018, where it was one of my favorite Colin Wilson moments. Nathan MacKinnon gives him this beautiful pass, and Colin Wilson's just like, that's his celebration. I love that dude. Colin Wilson rant. I haven't had nearly enough of those on this podcast, and you guys were owed one. God, I love Colin Wilson. Someone mentioned something about, because I asked who scored on that JT goal, and someone in the Discord, because my name is Colin Wilson in there. They know I'm not Colin Wilson, by the way, just to make sure. You guys know that. They said Colin Wilson, and in my heart I cried a little happy tear just thinking about Colin Wilson scoring goals. Anyways, back to this hockey game, and not talking about a guy who hasn't played for this team in 3 years. The Beau and Byram is feeling it. But not only is he feeling it, I felt like Alex Newhook took a step in the right direction, and this was shown. I think he was lacking some confidence when it came to executing the final, I'm a soccer fan. I refer to it sometimes in hockey, just subconsciously, because I hear commentators say it in soccer, executing the final third. And I kind of have taken that as okay, final third is there's 3 parts of scoring a goal: getting the puck, getting in a position, and scoring the goal. By the way, I pulled that out of my ass. But the final third thing, feel free to use that. is definitely something that I have actually third of, finishing in the final third. But and I feel like he's just not quite doing that part, and he's not quite shooting it. I feel like the three would be getting the puck in an area, shooting the puck, and scoring. So whatever. Well, I'll workshop it. Don't worry. He was feeling it. He was skating well. He was making good passes. It's just he was deferring too much. And I love Andrew Cogliano. I love Logan O'Connor. But when you're on a line with those two, gotta pick it up a little bit. But I'll talk about him and Evan Rodriguez in a little bit because I have some thoughts on them and the fact and what I've observed with them, especially their confidence levels as of late when coming back from the break. Sorry. I'm just trying to look at the... Okay. So, I mean... It's just great play by him. He holds off a dude, and Bo and Byram just picks a corner. And at this point, if you follow me on Twitter, which... Why would you do that to yourself? But also, if you do, thank you. I'm never a big comfortable with leads kind of guy. It's always got to be a nice one or not very much time left for me to feel real good about one. And that was no different. Just the Jets are such a high-powered team, and I just felt like they had more to give. I was wrong. They didn't. I mean, they kind of did. So the first minute and the last minute of the second period were really good. And if you look at the underlying numbers, they're going to inflate that a lot. I mean, you could see in the graph a big spike in the expected goals in that last minute. And I mean, if you take those away, which I mean, obviously, but also it's like 2 minutes doesn't tell the story of a 60-minute hockey game. If you look at any numbers of this game and you decide to be like, well, it wasn't that bad, it's like, no, it was. The fact of the matter is the Avs were winning 4-1 against a team that was showing no energy, no inspiration, no execution of anything. And they're on the first night of a back-to-back. They're just not going to, go balls to the wall. I mean, they definitely tried. I mean, they even got another fifth goal. I mean, the Jets were pushing, and the Avs ended up with a goal. And I mean, I think that was what put the nail in the coffin, because at that point, I mean, against this team, it's just like, it feels like, they were kind of like, all right, well, that's just a big emotional drain for them after already, getting a 4 spot put on them, is that they're pushing they're showing this, they're giving their biggest pushback. It ended in nothing except for a bigger deficit for them. So that was big, a really nice goal. I think JT Compher played well. This pass is great from him. Great pass by Devon Toews too, to kind of pull back a little bit. JT Compher came in with speed, and that Matt Nieto crashed, and that JT Compher, JTC LBC, the connection just continues to be pretty solid. And it's weird. I've been watching old games. I haven't. There's nothing that stuck out to me and been like, oh, okay, so this is where this came from. This is just all of a sudden random kind of thing. It's nice to get depth scoring, and that's been good. I continue. Dennis Mulligan, Matt Nieto. I don't know. I don't. With Mulligan, it's a little bit tough because he can be a little bit. His decisions aren't always great, and he's not purely reliable, but. I mean, dude, those two, and I mean a fourth line center. Even I mean, I know I'm in the minority here, but even if it was Ben Myers, dude, I wouldn't mind that come playoff season. But it's whatever. Anyways, great play. Felt like the game kind of went into cruise control. Like I said, the Jets did push it in, give it a nice push at the end of the second rather. Got really close. Other than that, I mean, third period was pretty, God damn it, what's the word that I'm trying to think of? I don't know, man. Whatever. It was just pretty straightforward, pretty simple. they put in Riddick. I don't even know. I big save Dave. And that to me was like the white flag. We're not going to try and come back in this game. This game's over. We're done. And then I was like, all right, okay, we've got this. And I mean, the refs tried to give the Jets some opportunities. They didn't care. I mean, for Christ's sake, there was a play where Artturi Lehkonen lost it. A defender broke his stick. Artturi Lehkonen gave him his stick, went and got his stick, and was able to pick off a pass. One of their power plays. The Avs penalty kill was great tonight. I thought the Avs defense for like 50 minutes of this game was really good. There were just like a few moments, which, and like I said, those 2 moments in the second period, even their goal wasn't much. I mean, the Jets ended with like 40 Corsi for and like 20 actual shots on net. So the Avs were, I think, getting in front of a lot and forcing them to the outside to take not very good shots. So I think they did a good job with that. I thought Georgiev really redeemed himself for last game he played in Winnipeg. And I don't think he played, if you listen to the last podcast, he didn't play bad against the Jets. I think he actually played good. But, I mean, 5 goals to 1 goal is a huge step in the right direction. Hopefully he still got, and he didn't get tested very much tonight, so hopefully he still got some left in the tank. And, I mean, like I said, I don't think he played I don't think he played awful, but he definitely can and should play better in the Sega Bobbitt tomorrow than he did against Edmonton. That's going to be big. And that was the big key. So the Avs got dominated last time and they punched right back, and that's perfect. That's what you want to see, especially after the Jets have been reeling, the Stars have been reeling. Of course, the Wild actually have been catching fire lately, which is just fantastic. It's super helpful of Toronto to, I mean, they've been dominating teams, and obviously they win this one, but you should get it done in regulation. They did score all 3 goals, so good for you, Toronto. You scored all 3 goals. It would have been nice if you'd scored that extra one in regulation, or maybe hadn't scored for the other team in regulation, but that's okay. Otherwise, the Avs would have that spot. But that's okay. The Avs still have the games in hand, and that's the big thing. I just don't like looking all the way up when you still have, because it's like, the Avs are coming, that's true, but they still have 3 spots to go. Jesus Christ, they're a lot closer than I thought they were. They're at 69 points, and they have 2 games advantage on Dallas, who's at 72. So if they win these 2 games in hand, they're top the Central. That's crazy. That's crazy to think that this team has done that. Just basically my thing is just don't waste the opportunity. I mean, this team, what this team is doing isn't particularly unsustainable. They're not getting absurd goaltending. They're not putting 6 or 7 goals a game up. When was even... this is 2 games in a row where they scored 5 goals. I guess that's true. It's not ridiculous. They scored 4 in the one before, then 3, then 5, then 0, then 1. So, it's part of it is I feel they're a little bit due. And I don't know. This feels sustainable, and hopefully it is. Hopefully they can keep it up. Get that top spot. That would just be beautiful. Even in just the division. It would be nice to get the first seed in the West, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't like doing that. This is just a perfect game. Everything worked. I don't have a big problem. My only problems are more of a long-term thing, and I wasn't hugely impressed with Evan Rodriguez tonight, but I don't think he was bad by any stretch of the imagination. Newhook, I really liked. It's just, like I said, confidence is a big thing. I've noticed Evan Rodriguez just doesn't have that spot. He had that, he had this jump against the Penguins, and then I don't know what it was. It feels like, last year Compher had a shutout against Arizona, and that's what kind of boosted him into his peak form. I feel like it did the opposite. for Evan Rodriguez. I don't know if like there was a bunch of people like talking, like saying, messaging him or like saying stuff about, it was like a, don't fall apart in the second half again. That got into his head or what it is. It's just weird because last year, the reason, it was a very easy reason. It was because he wasn't playing with talented players anymore. But he's playing with talented players. And he's not playing with talented players who aren't like, I don't know. It's who are producing. They're scoring points. It's just he can't find his way to points. And it feels like in these last few games, it hasn't even just been that he's not producing. So he's just not playing very well. I don't think he was... He got an assist, and maybe this will springboard him. But he had that really bad game against Edmonton. It's just there was a few rough plays, but one of those two needs to score a goal soon. I would really like it if they could somehow both score tomorrow. That would be fantastic and very helpful. Because the top guys need that support, and they've been getting it for the most part. Let's be honest. I mean, it's not like they're doing really well, but they're not like single-handedly lugging this team to victories, like they were at one point. They need they need the little boost, because at some point JT Compher will go a little bit without scoring again, and those two are going to need to pick up the slack a little bit. Everything turn off, please. Okay, no, we're fine. That's something I'd like to see improve a little bit. And I mean, basically, that's it. They just need to win tomorrow. Like I said, you have these games in hand, but you got to win them for them to mean anything. So just get your win. It's going to be emotional with Kadri coming back, I'm sure, but they've played him twice already, so that should ease it a little bit. Calgary just has not been doing very well. They blew a 3-1 lead to Vegas the other day. I mean, they've got a few games played and, not a very large point gap. Nashville could catch them, but I mean, I don't know, if they catch anybody else. I don't know. That team has not been doing very well, and you got to take advantage of yourselves because they put themselves in a good situation. They made it so the second half of the game they could kind of just coast it in. I mean, they didn't get to double digits, but I mean the fourth line, they were rolling 4 lines. The fourth line played some decent minutes. It's a little annoying when you're running 11-7 because it's like, you have to run one of the forwards that's already getting big minutes. But let me see actually how many minutes everybody got. Let me just check. Sorry, guys. It's not what I want. I just want the game, please. Okay, nope. All right. Here we go. Time on ice. All strengths. Okay, so the only people who were over 20 were Nuke, Gerard, Nate, Mikko, Manson, and Compher, and Taves, and Byram. Okay, well, that's actually quite a few. But, I mean, they're not ridiculously over 20. I don't know. I'd like them to be a little bit lower in a game like this. I don't know. But that's fine. I mean, by the way, Nuke, I think, continues to be good. Also, shout out Arturi Lekin, 100th career assist. If Blake was here, he'd say, good stick, Lecky. So, good stick, Lecky for Blake, for me. I mean, like I said, I was impressed with everybody tonight. Everybody did their job. Josh Manson, chaos monster. I coined that phrase. I think I already mentioned that, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, it's just my brain is melting because I've done this twice already. So, yeah. That was that was a fun game. It was a fun hockey game. The Avs put themselves in a good situation for tomorrow, and I mean, obviously the Minnesota one you understand. The Edmonton one, I mean, all Sega Babas is when you don't play well, you understand. But, I mean, you've seen this team play better on Sega Babas, and when you set yourself in a good position to, like, not make it as bad, you'd like to take advantage of it a little bit better. Like, I'm not saying they need to dominate. I would just like them to not be, like, have to come back down from 3 goals or have to have their goalie make a bunch of saves, really want to win this game, you need the points for these games in hand to mean anything, like I said. But let me get into the 3 stars, and then I'll move on. Like I said, no disappointing player, because I mean, why would there be a disappointing player in a game like this? Jeez. So I'm gonna give honorable mention to JT Compher because I thought he played really well. His goal, he puts himself in a good position, but it wasn't, particularly impressive. His assist was very nice. 3rd star I'm going to give to Alexander Georgiev. He made some really nice stops, especially was big at the bookends of the second period. Made sure the Avs could really, kind of cruise this one to victory. Nice bounce back game. And then Mikko Rantanen I'll give to second. There's just something about Mikko Rantanen, man. I feel like I don't know. I know Blake thinks I have Mikko tinted glasses. I think I don't disagree. I love Mikko Rantanen, and I think sometimes I defend him more than I need to on when he does bad. But I think when he does good, I just don't feel like people appreciate him enough. So that's frustrating, and I feel like he was very good tonight. He was dancing through guys. He was, that shot was incredible. He wasn't great coming out of the break, and now he's got goals in 3 straight. Hard to really be upset with that. He has goals in 3 straight, right? He scored against... Yes, he scored at St. Louis. Yeah, that's right. He's doing good. He's doing good. Just gotta keep it up too. And then Nathan MacKinnon. He's especially been very impressive lately. He's just playing on another level this year. Everybody knew it coming out of the at the start. He's just doing his stuff, and I hope he keeps doing it. Just keep. I notice he's just making these really good defensive plays more often. I notice he's I don't know. He's just a little bit. He's a little bit more of that consistent dog. Where I feel like sometimes people I don't know. This is like I don't know this isn't anything new for Nathan MacKinnon. I think it's a little bit more consistent, but. I mean, I don't know. It's good stuff from him, and it's a goal and an assist really helped the Avs to a win. I mean, also shout out everybody else. Shout out Bo and Byram. Shout out all the guys. Shout out Sam Girard because I finally got my Sam Girard jersey that I got for Christmas. I wore it. He breaks the dude ankles. I thought he was pretty good today. Really good in transition. His defense was very good. The only time he made a bad play, he turned the puck over to Neil Pionk, and Neil Pionk was like, no, okay, don't worry, little guy, I'll help you with that. He cleared the puck for him. It was hilarious. Well, that's a lot of talking for just me to do, so I'm gonna let this one be done. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll have someone back tomorrow. Hopefully the Avs get another dub on the Sega Baba. Finish this thing strong because the rest of February is still a little bit tough, so gotta get these points when you can. Hope you all enjoy. I said something. Oh yeah, read a book. That's what I said. Read a book. I read a book, so you guys have to too. All right, there we go. There was an important message that I had to get out. Bye, everybody.